In 2015, I was chatting with friends and suggested that if we had extra money, we could convert it into gold as a safe haven. China had developed to a stage where it posed a clear threat to the US, and the two countries were not far from a showdown. Once China and the US entered a confrontation phase, gold would undoubtedly rise, becoming the most important tool for preserving asset value. However, my friends were all saving up to buy houses because China's housing prices were starting a new round of rapid increases. Perhaps due to luck, I bought properties in 2009 and 2014, both during China's housing price lows or just before prices took off. I never paid attention to housing prices or thought about speculating in real estate. My purchases were purely for personal use. In fact, if I had been willing to invest more money in better properties, I could have earned even greater returns after Shenzhen's housing prices surged. In the end, many of my friends saved enough money and bought houses between 2017 and 2020. By then, China's housing prices were at their historical peak, with a collapse looming. What awaited them was an endless decline. Gold, on the other hand, steadily rose. Although it experienced corrections, its price today is more than 3 times what it was in 2015. Indeed, gold's characteristic is its role as a safe haven for preserving value, making it difficult to use for speculation. Speculators who use leverage to enter the market often go bankrupt. After 2015, I gradually bought a lot of gold. When I got married, following Chinese customs that require purchasing large amounts of gold and silver, I bought some gold jewelry but converted the rest into small gold bars. If you only hear this part of the story, I might seem like a success, catching the real estate appreciation wave and betting correctly on gold. However, there is another part to this story, and it is deeply sad. In 2015, while I was persuading everyone to buy gold as a safe haven and making clear judgments about the inevitability of Sino-US competition at a dinner table, one friend proposed a crazy idea. He wanted to buy Bitcoin. He also planned to join the mining army, sell his car, and use the savings intended for a house to buy equipment to mine Ethereum. Honestly, I knew about Bitcoin and had a very clear stance. It was a speculative tool. As for Ethereum, wasn't it just a copycat of Bitcoin, a tax on the naive? That gathering turned into a battlefield of debate. I used every argument to prove that my friend had lost his mind, thinking about speculation instead of building a stable career. Speculators rarely have happy endings. Survivor bias gets written into books and TV dramas, admired by countless people, while most speculators go bankrupt and end up on the streets. Being eloquent, I ultimately silenced my friend. I won the verbal war and even paid the bill. Before 2020, my business was going smoothly, so I kept expanding my investments. Surprisingly, my friend seemed to be doing well too. He didn't change his stance after losing the verbal war. Although he didn't buy Bitcoin, he sold his car, used his house savings, and bought a bunch of mining rigs. He rented a simple factory in a small town in Zhejiang, where rows of NVIDIA graphics cards were his and his partner's entire hope, continuously mining Ethereum. Yes, he was an early beneficiary of the Ethereum boom. At that time, China's regulations on mining were not strict, and it was completely legal. Many small hydropower plants in Zhejiang, Guizhou, and Sichuan provided very cheap electricity for the mining army. Unlike my diligent business efforts, he took a fast track, truly striking it rich and achieving financial freedom. He didn't hold a grudge against me. After all, we were longtime friends, and he would help me out if I needed support with my business. Meanwhile, the friends who followed my advice at the dinner table and firmly avoided cryptocurrencies probably cursed me in their hearts. It feels a bit like a Hamlet-style revenge story, a real-life version. Regardless, my friends and I were all doing relatively well. My career was thriving, my friend's mining was successful, and the others bought houses and settled down. But this wasn't the final chapter of the story. In the grand tide of history, we are all just grains of sand. In 2020, the pandemic hit, followed by endless lockdowns. My business was heavily impacted, and coupled with some major personal setbacks, I completely collapsed. The gold I had saved couldn't save me. It left with my ex-wife. Various major setbacks overwhelmed me. But fortunately, while my ex-wife took the gold, I kept my son. Working hard for my son became my life's motivation, giving me the strength to carry on. I was luckier than my friends because I had a supportive family. No matter what, today I can quietly make videos in my room without worrying about many troubles, which counts as a fresh start. My friend in cryptocurrencies wasn't so lucky. His partner got involved in illegal transactions, and their funds and equipment were seized. Even more devastating, mining was declared illegal in China, and the government's crackdowns on cryptocurrencies made trading increasingly difficult. After switching to trading, he failed to capitalize on the overall rising trend of crypto prices and instead lost everything in the corrections and volatility. For him, his life was completely destroyed. The despair and confusion of going from immense wealth to bankruptcy are indescribable, especially for those accustomed to a lavish, money-fueled lifestyle. As for the friends who bought houses at the peak, although their jobs were stable, the severe shrinkage of their assets caused them immense pain. Years of savings essentially went down the drain. The downward pressure on China's economy left them breathless, constantly worrying about potential unemployment. In China, middle-aged unemployment is a tragedy that almost everyone dreads but plays out daily. When the tides of history come, the insignificance of individuals is negligible. Personal careers faltered, and the nation's future seemed bleak. Our generation appeared to be in an unprecedented crisis. Yet, fortunately, China didn't collapse, and we all found our footing after the turmoil, restarting in our own ways. After these life upheavals, many of my views changed. I went from completely avoiding cryptocurrencies to actively researching and learning, allocating a portion of my income to them, and experiencing their trading and cash-out processes. My friend also pivoted to offering digital asset consulting services, selling his courses on social media. Others emerged from the fear of falling housing prices and unemployment, finding peace in their lives. So, when starting this channel, my positioning was simple. I couldn't promote get-rich-quick schemes detached from reality to attract traffic. Instead, I hope to ride the AI wave and explore a reliable way to make money online. This method isn't about preaching from the perspective of a success story, but about documenting the entire process in real time. If you're also interested in topics like online earning, digital nomadism, and asset allocation, welcome to follow this channel. Updates are irregular, and we'll see you next time.